Us now, and we're thrilled to have him back on the program, is the great Jimmer Fredette, who has just wrapped up a gold medal performance with Team USA in 3-on-3 basketball. Jimmer, welcome back to BYU Sports Nation, and congratulations on a gold medal.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I just wanted to preface this too. I have my little daughter here on the ground, so if you hear some squealing, that's what it is. So
this is the show and fan base that 1,000,000% can understand that. So no problem at all. Jimmer,
I knew that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just start with how you got into the 3-on-3 basketball realm. Like, when did this become a thing for you, and who approached you about it?
Yeah, no, it was great. It was actually so the coach's name is Fran Fraschilla. It's actually his son James that coaches the team, and Fran's kind of like the GM. You may know Fran. He's been an ESPN personality for a long time. He was a coach for a long time. Coached at New Mexico for a little while, so he's very familiar with the Mountain West Conference. He actually lives in Colorado Springs, where USA Sports kind of resides. And I actually got in contact with him through one of my former teammates, Jonathan Tavernari. He talks with Fran quite often and asked him about who he thought would be good at 3-on-3, and JT gave him my name, and Fran called me up, and I said, yeah, I would love to have the opportunity, because there's an opportunity possibly to go towards 2024 Olympics in 3-on-3 basketball. So for me, I was all in right away. Just to be able to have an opportunity to possibly do that was something that caught my eye.
Well, and look, not just the fact that you guys won gold, but you hit the game-winning shot. Look, and everybody knows that you've had a lot of big shots in your career. Where does that one rank for you personally?
It's great. I mean, it's definitely up there. When you win a gold medal, you make a game-winning shot. The excitement afterwards was awesome. I mean, we were just, we were yelling at each other, and, super excited. And it was funny because we were playing against Puerto Rico in the final, and we're down in Miami, so it actually felt like a road game. 80% of the people there were going from Puerto Rico, and so be able to make the shot, win a gold medal for the U.S. The AmeriCup was a lot of fun. So it was up there for sure because it was so exciting.
You've tasted gold at the AmeriCup, as you just brought up, but I want to go back to something that you just mentioned in your previous comment, and that is making a run at the Olympics. Jimmer, is it fair to say that you're ready to make a run at gold in Paris with Team USA in 2024?
Yeah, well, I mean, first we got to get there. That's the biggest thing. 3-on-3 basketball came to the Olympics last Olympics in Tokyo in 2020, and unfortunately, our team didn't qualify for 3-on-3 basketball there. So that's why they're kind of making a real push to make sure that we obviously first qualify for the Olympics and then hopefully make a run for a medal. But the teams that we're playing against, a lot of these European teams, Serbia and Lithuania, and some of these teams have been playing 3-on-3 basketball in a circuit for, years and years and years. They're kind of the gold standard. They do this for their living. They play all year round. They know how to play. They're good players. They're physical. It's a much more physical game and just kind of different than 5-on-5. So we're trying to catch up on how to play the game. Obviously, we have a lot of talent, and we're bringing some of that talent to the game, but trying to learn the ins and outs of it is something that we're working on. And but yeah, I mean, hopefully, the whole goal of this is to be able to make the 2024 Olympics and hopefully be able to make a run at a medal.
Look, the obvious answer is there's two less players, but what's the and you mentioned, you're starting to see a little bit more of the big three in the United States. I mean, obviously you have the big three, Ice Cube's league, and that's gaining popularity, and the 3-on-3 tournaments. You're starting to see more and more of that. What's the biggest difference in playing 3-on-3, versus a normal 5-on-5 game?
Well, even in, difference between the 3-on-3 that they play here, like the big three and some of the games, hoop it ups and all those things, is that it's continuous basketball. So literally, once you shoot it and you make it, the other team catches it and throws it out past the 3-point line. They clear it and you just keep playing. So it's continuous, which makes it exhausting, to be honest with you, because you don't get any breaks, right? Like, unless there's a foul, or, goes out of bounds or something like that, you don't stop until that happens. So you can play sometimes for 2-3 minutes in a row, and you have to play offense, defense, one-on-one defense, getting over screens. There's so many different actions that they run, in 3-on-3 versus 5-on-5 to get guys open. So there's a lot of screens and double screens and rescreens and slipping to the basket and all this different stuff. So you have to really be able to think on the fly. And it's all obviously half court, and you don't get a chance to walk the ball up the court or anything like that. It's continuous. So it's very tiring. It's a lot of fun, but if you can be in really good shape and you have smart basketball IQ, and then you can make twos, you could be pretty good at it. And I feel like it fits my game pretty well. But yeah, it's that continuous basketball you have to get used to.
Jimmer Fredette with us on BYU Sports Nation. Jimmer, what's the key to growing the popularity of 3-on-3 basketball in the United States to join some of those European juggernauts?
I just think it's about finding the right league for it to happen, right? And obviously there's not, a 5-on-5 basketball. That's where all the money is, right? That's where people get paid, and whether it's overseas, whether it's here. So if someone can, find a league where guys are getting paid decent, obviously on the FIBA World Tour, you do make money for these tournaments. You can make a decent living doing it. You just have to be able to travel all over the world to be able to play in this. So if they had a league here in the U.S. where they could make some money, that's obviously the big three's trying to do it. But if they had a league that was like FIBA, where they played FIBA rules, and everything, then we would get better at it. And then you would see more talent because they want to stay here and possibly have a chance to play on the U.S. Olympic team, be able to make some money. It's, a little bit less travel and a little bit less time commitment, maybe than a 5-on-5, season. So there's some ins and outs that people, I think, would like. But it's about ultimately trying to find a good league that's going to, pay for people to be able to make a living doing it. That's what's going to attract more talent.
All right, I've got a hypothetical for you, Jimmer. Let's say you and one other guy are looking for a third person to form a 3-on-3 team. Would you want Slick Nick on your team?
Yes, I would. The problem is Slick Nick was a little out of shape. Yeah, I don't know if he can quite play that continuous, but he does have a little bit of girth to him, so he could probably body some of the bigger guys. I think he would. I think he would do okay. But ultimately, Slick Nick is in retirement. So.
Yeah, I don't think Slick Nick screams Olympics at this point with that body shape for sure, Jimmer.
Not quite.
But what's the next step for you in this progression chart towards qualifying for the Olympics? What happens next, tournament or preparation wise?
Yeah, so they're getting close to the end of the season for 3-on-3. So they mostly play from May to the end of November. Is kind of how they work that schedule. Obviously, because it's mostly outdoors. There's some indoor events, but they do a lot of it outdoor with a covered top and everything, that type of deal. So they'll start again in May. We'll have World Championships in May or sometime next summer. I'm not sure exactly the dates yet, but we've qualified for that. So we'll be able to go to the World Championships and be able to do that. And then obviously I'll play on, the FIBA World Tour this summer, which is going to be all over the world. There'll be some in Europe, some in Canada, maybe a few in the U.S. There's some in Asia. Now I won't play in every event, but I'll play in a lot of them, try to get acclimated because, you have to qualify as a player to be able to make the Olympic team. You have to accumulate enough points to be able to do that, but then also your team has to accumulate enough points to qualify for Paris. So we'll be trying to do both things simultaneously. And obviously the more I play, the better I'll get to be prepared, for an Olympic run. So yeah, I'll be doing that some this summer, playing and, trying to get better and hoping to make an Olympic run.
So with that in mind, big picture basketball questions then, what is your basketball future? Is this the basketball that you're going to be playing for the next little while, preparing for this? Or do you have other opportunities in the basketball world? Where do things stand with that?
Yeah, I've had several opportunities that came up for me 5-on-5 all over the world, in Europe, in China, Australia, Japan. I mean, everywhere. People have asked me to come over. I just wasn't prepared to do that at this point. So I had declined, at this point, all the offers that have come. And we'll see about after January if something comes up that's really great that I want to try to, take. So I wouldn't shut that door fully. But at the same time, I'm super happy with where I'm at. I'm able to be home with the family, be able to spend the holidays here. Obviously, continue to work on my 3-on-3 stuff because that's ultimate goal is to make an Olympic run. So I want to be able to do that. But to be able to go over and play 5-on-5 for a month or two, maybe something that's an option. But as of right now, I'm not thinking about that too much. I'm mostly thinking about this 3-on-3 stuff and being home with basketball and or with my family and being able to kind of do some other things on the side. So that's where my head's at right now. But yeah, I haven't accepted any offers for the 5-on-5 at this point, but on purpose.
Jimmer Fredette on BYU Sports Nation. Now we shift our attention to the new version of BYU men's basketball. I know Slick Nick has had a firsthand experience with Coach Mark Pope and this specific team. Weird game the other night, but we saw a bunch of powerhouses lose on opening night. So maybe there's just something to winning and finding a way. But what are your impressions early of this BYU men's basketball team?
Yeah, I mean, the first games are always tough, right? Like, you're just so amped up. You're so excited to finally play in a meaningful game after like several months of just workouts and playing against each other and, doing defense and, conditioning and all of these different things. You're just so excited to be able to get out there and play against another opponent. You never really know what is going to happen as far as that's concerned. Most importantly, it's about winning the game. And I love their effort. They played hard, and that's the biggest thing for me. If they're playing hard, they're going to be good defensively. Then it's about just being consistent on the offensive end and being able to score. I thought Dallin did an amazing job coming in and providing a spark for the team. I think he's going to be a really good player. Obviously, Spencer, you see, hit that big shot at the end. They have some veteran guys. It's going to take them a little time to gel because there's a lot of new guys on this team. But ultimately, they have good talent. They have good athleticism. They have great coaching. They're going to play hard defensively. Now it's about finding that rhythm offensively. Who's their go-to guy down the stretch? Who's going to make plays for them? If they can do that, I think they'll be really solid because they're going to be good defensively.
This time next year, we're all going to be focusing on looking ahead to the conference schedule in the Big 12. Can you imagine if your schedule had, Kansas coming to Provo and Baylor, Texas Tech, and going to all these places? What an unbelievable basketball league this is going to be next year.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I keep telling people, I was like, last year, if you were, in the Big 12, your easiest road game would have been at West Virginia. And I'm like, that's Bob Huggins and the Mountaineers and their crazy fan base. Like, that would have been your east because their record in the actual conference wasn't great. And I'm like, that's a really good team. That's an extremely difficult place to play. So there's just no nights off. There's the complete, you have to be on and ready to go every single night. And that may be a little bit different coming from the West Coast Conference where, you play some games where you feel like you can, not play your A game and win. That's not the case in the Big 12. So it's just being on every single night, preparing. I know the guys will be super excited about it, because those venues are going to be amazing to play at. But it's about just going out there, having fun, and putting forth the best effort, and putting together a game plan. I think it'll take an adjustment period, but ultimately, I think we're going to be good in a few years.
Jimmer, great to catch up with you, and really exciting to hear about the gold medal pursuit and your ambitions in 3-on-3 basketball. We appreciate the time, and please send our best to Whitney and your beautiful kids, man. Hope things are going well there as well.
Everything is good. I appreciate everyone. It's an exciting new chapter. It's been great, and I always appreciate the support, guys.
All right, you guys. Jimmer Fredette on BYU Sports Nation, the GOAT.